Hi, I'm John from Just Whisky. If you like today's show, which I think you're going to, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And a kind thanks to the few Patreons that I do have that believe in me and help support this channel. Much appreciated. Now the question you ask is, why would I want to become a Patreon? What's in it for me? Well, what's in it for all the Patreons, as they know, is they have access to exclusive Patreon-only Scotch whiskey reviews and some American spirits too, but mostly Scotch. And the archive, and I do them occasionally, semi-regularly, occasionally. Okay, and we've reviewed Patreon exclusives, everything from Ardbeg Hypernova to Springbank 15 and everything in between. So if you would like to become a Patreon for as little as $1 a month, I do give and provide what I can with what little I have, and the archive is building of Patreon exclusive reviews. And I do a much more laid back approach, even like getting rid of the hat and just kind of a little more chill. Anyway, the most important thing is just remember, it's just whiskey. All right. Today we're going to be reviewing and comparing Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 4. How do I know it's Batch 4? Because it says it right on the back of the bottle. Okay. With Batch 6. Okay. Which is a sample that was gifted to me from a friend from the whiskey group that I'm in. Okay. So it's the real deal, and it wasn't provided by me by any distillery or anything like that. So always honest, candid reviews here. So the Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 4, and they call it Peat in Progress. This came out in 2021, and I reviewed it in 2021. So please check out that review, okay? Because I'm not going to go in deep as I did for that review for that. And then we're going to compare it to the Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 6, which came out in 2022. And my understanding, they're up to at least Batch 8 by now, okay? So I think they're pumping out like 2 a year. So the specs, Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 4, the ABV is 58.6%, okay? And the Batch 6, Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 6, came out in 2022, 57.4% ABV. The maturation makeup for Batch 4 was 80% bourbon, 20% sherry. The maturation for Batch 6 is 75% bourbon, 25% sherry. So a tad bit more sherry in the newer batch. And it's slightly darker than Batch 6 is slightly darker than Batch 4. Okay. So that could either be the little bit more sherry influence and or a little bit more age, or a combination of both. All right. The recap on the Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 4, I didn't really, it wasn't floating my boat. I wasn't gravitated to it. And check out Phil from Whiskey Mystery. I think he poured his bottle down the drain. Okay, he did not or like older Kilkerran Heavily Peated, and how I described it. This has been open now for a year and a half. Okay, and the bottle level's gone down, so it's starting to mellow out. Okay, But when I first opened it, if you've ever been to Ireland, I've never been to Scotland, but I've been to Ireland, and it was in early spring, and so it was kind of cold and raw out on some days, and you could smell in the air. People use peat to not only heat but cook with. Um, and the only way to describe it for me is it smells like burning garbage. Okay. And that was my take on this when I first opened it up. Very like burning garbage, and very dirty and very vegetal. Okay. Now, it's really opened up and come a long way since then. And actually, it's beyond I don't mind it. I actually saying, you know what, I'm kind of enjoying this now. All right. So some quick nosing and tasting notes on Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 4 from 2021. So this is the new take on it now. But check out my old review. So on the nose now you're getting the sweet peat, the vegetal, okay? Not overly complex, but very drinkable at cask strength. Both these are, for that matter. It's sweet. It's got a little prickliness to it, a little bit of oak spice going on. There's some melon, some candied fruit notes going on in there, a little bit of spearmint. The finish is medium to medium plus. And I scored this a year and a half ago. I was much more liberal with my scores, okay? And I scored this an 85 at that time, okay? Going back in time, I probably should have scored this between an 83 and an 85, maybe settling out at 84, okay? It's dramatically improved since then. I've been sampling this, throughout the months, and I'm enjoying it a lot more than I originally did. So the score on this is probably going to be, when I say this, the Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 4 from 2021. For my enjoyment, the score is, gone probably to maybe an 86. Okay. All right. Now, Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 6. This is very creamy, vanilla. Much more complex. More inviting. Much more improved. Significant improvement. But some people, if you like rough and dirty and vegetal, Batch 4 is your thing. Batch 6, this peat has matured. It's, in my opinion, from my perspective, it's matured and is vanilla cream, a little bit of kerosene, vibrant, a little bit of melon, powdered bubble gum. The powder that's on the bubble gum. It just smells cleaner and less funky, less vegetal, okay? A nice wallop. It's vibrant, it's robust, it's viscous, it's sweet, it's spicy. I think there's more oak spice in this than Batch 4. The finish is a robust medium to medium plus with that lingering cinnamon oak spice. But you do get a little bit of that vegetal note, okay, which I think is like the Kilkerran Heavily Peated signature, okay. It is there, but it's more mature, it's more refined. Fruity, little spearmint in there as well. Um, I would score this, for my enjoyment, um, a step above this. Probably 87, maybe an 88, but I'm going to stick with an 87. Okay, it's 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 a peated, yeah, peat in progress, and I think it is progressing. I've never had batch 1, 2, or 3. I've only had batch 4. I have not had batch 5, and now I'm having batch 6. I haven't had 7 or 8. Okay, but to me, there seems to be an evolution here. But if you like that, again, as a quick recap, that dirty, vegetal, garbagey, in a good way, batch 4 is probably your where you want to go. Batch 6, it's starting to, it's maturing, okay, and and it's getting closer to where I would like it to be. And so in 2021, I paid about $100 for the batch 4, and I think that's about the price which batch 6 is going for. I do have an extra unopened bottle of batch 4. If anybody lives within 60 miles of Cape Cod, if you want to do a swap for batch 4 to batch 6, I'd be open for that. Or batch 4 for a Kilkerran 12, I'd be up for that as well. You could message me in the comments below, and then we could PM after that. But anyway, I hope that was helpful, and again, thanks to all the Patreons, and consider becoming a Patreon, because I do offer exclusive Patreon reviews that are private and will never be made public, and I've got quite a few more interesting things to review for the Patreons. So something to look forward to, and I look forward to it as well. Again, just more of a chill, laid back kind of a thing. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks.